Hello everyone and welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to show you the real life counterparts of cars from my favorite game, Hotshot racing. Now this game is kinda like quite hated for its release, and it's something different, and it's originally going to be a vehicular combat, but later idea got scrapped and become a normal racing game. So hope you just enjoy the video. So let's get started. Alexei first, and her car roster contains 4 cars. Well, each character has 4 cars each, and her first one is this Stallion, which is based on the 1970 Chevrolet Camaro. Although the base version having a 155 horsepower, but in here I think the block V8 version is taken from the real life, and it's capable of producing horsepower 351. The next car from her roster is the Thunder, and it is based on the Chevrolet Lumina NASCAR, and from 1989 to 1994, and it is a champion of NASCAR Winton Cup. The third car is the Mirage, and it is based on the 1995 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1, the MGST, and that car is a particular racing modification of the original stock road legal 1995 Chevrolet Corvette ZL1, and it's capable of producing horsepower 405. The final car of Alexis is the Diamondback, and it is based on the 1999 Chrysler Viper GTS-R, and which is a endurance race car by Chrysler with French team Red Viper Team Orca, and capable of producing 600 horsepower. Aston next, and his car roster is come from the Bulldog, the first ever car, and which is based on the Aston Martin DBR9, and it came in 2005 with the in 24 hours in Le Mans, capable of producing 600 to 625 horsepower. Next car in his roster is this Bandit, and it is a Jaguar E-type lightweight, and it is only a rare high performance car capable of horsepowering 304, just like that, and it is a 18 only planned to be built, but those are built. Those units are built from 1963 to 1964. Alright, the next car in his roster is this 2003 Bentley Speed 8, which is known in game as the Avenger, and it is first depicted in 24 hours Le Mans, and it's capable of producing 600 horsepower. Alright, the next car in Austin roster is this 1996 Lotus Esprit GT1, which is a rare race car capable and participated in BPR Racing Championship, and capable of producing 550 horsepower. Alright, Xing next, and the first car in his roster is called Fastback, which is based on the legendary 1997 Mercedes-Benz CLK GT1 and GTR, and it is participated in GT1 racetrack in 1997. And if you really show the car racing scene of that era, you probably guess this famous backflip of this car, which has happened in Nürburgring, Germany in 1998. The next car in his roster is this Blaze, and which is based on the Ferrari F40 GTE, which is introduced in 1995 and capable of producing 620 to 720 plus horsepower. The next car in this roster is the Alpha, and it is based on the Audi R10 LMP1, the legendary one, and it is debuted in the late 2005, capable of producing around 650 horsepower. And the final car in his roster is the Sentinel, which is based on the Porsche 935, and which is also based on the Porsche 911 body, and it is capable of producing 840 plus horsepower. Alright, Keiko, and the first car in his roster is this Lightspeed, which is based on the 2000 Honda NSX GTC, and it is purposely built for the Japanese Grand Touring Championship and capable of producing horsepower 480. Alright, the next car in his roster is this Starfire, and it is based on the legendary 1967 Toyota 2000 GT, which is a mid-engine sports car capable of producing 150 horsepower. The next car in his roster is the Super F90, although the IGCD once said it based on the race car Formula 1, but the typical Formula 1, but I believe it's based on the early 2010 Ferrari F1, or maybe just McLaren, I don't know, it's just guess. Marcus next, and the first car in his roster is this Viktor, which is based on the legendary 1997 McLaren F1 race car, which is purposely built for the new GT1 racing rifle and capable of producing horsepower of approx 600. The next car in his roster is this Rosso, which is based on the 1976 Lamborghini Countach LP400, designed by Gandini at Puetano, and with the V12 of its engine, it's capable of producing 375 horsepower. The next car in his roster is this Carbon, and it is based on the 2010 Bugatti Veyron Sports, and it is a Guinness Book record holder capable of producing 267 miles per hour or 431 km per hour and capable of producing 1200 horsepower. Alright, Mongoose next, and it is the final car in his roster, which is based on the Lancia Beta Monte Carlo Group 5, and it is a legendary race car featuring in the late 70s FIA World Championship and the early 80s, with capable of producing horsepower between 420 to 460. Viktor next, and the first car in his roster is this Blade, and it is based on the Audi R8 LMS, and it is a high performance track race car, and it's capable of producing horsepower from 580. Renin next, and it is based on the Porsche 961, which is a rare high performance circuit racing car based on the body of Porsche 959. It's capable of producing 450 horsepower. The next car in his roster is this T60 Super, and it is based on the legendary 1970 Porsche 917K, and it is a high performance endurance racing car, and it beats on the 24-hour Slammer in 1970s and capable of producing 580 to 600 horsepower. The final car of Viktor roster is this El Toro, which is based on 2003 Lamborghini Murcielago RGT, and it is a high performance purposely built race car and capable of producing 580 to 600 plus horsepower. Mike next, and the first car in his roster is this Anthem, which is I believe based on the 2003 to 2004 Ford GT, and yes, I said I believe because the IGCD entry said that it's based on 2009 Ford GTR, which that car doesn't even exist in real life. As I said, search on the internet later, and it may be a different car or I don't know, but anyway. Eagle next, and it is based on the Chevrolet Cobra S, the legendary high performance sports car built by Carl Shelby, and it's capable of producing horsepower 260 with the small block engine, and the big block one is capable of 460 plus. Patriot next, and this car is based on the Saleen S7R, the legendary high performance sports car capable of producing endurance race, and it is based on the Saleen S7, and it's capable of producing horsepower around roughly 600. The final car of this Mike roster is this Bullet, and it is based on the legendary Penos Esperante GTR, and it is a first ever American car, not first ever but a American car capable in the Grand Tour racing, and it got the nickname Batmobile, and it's capable of producing roughly 600 horsepower with the help of its V8 engine. Toshiro next, and it's the final character of this game, and the first car of the roster is this Furious, and it is based on the 2001 Toyota Supra GTC, and it's capable of it is probably built for the Japanese Grand Tour Championship and capable of producing around 500 horsepower. White Line next, and it's based on the 2004 Nissan Skyline GTR GTC, the legendary Nissan Skyline GTR, and unfortunately it was unable to complete the Japanese Grand Tour Car Championship, and it is capable of producing horsepower from 450 to 500. Next is the R400 Sports, and it is based on the 1998 Toyota GT1, and it is a legendary endurance car and completed the 24 hours Le Mans and capable of producing horsepower around 600. The last car of the Toshiro and the last car of the game, and it is based on the 1971 Skyline, the third generation one, and it got the nickname of Hakosuka, which means Hako means the box and Suka means the short form of Skyline in Japanese obviously, and it means the box Skyline, which is determined its boxy reference, and it's kind of small car which is capable of producing 160 horsepower. Before ending the video, I thought it would be a great idea to put an honorable mention here, and it is this police car, and it's only available in cops and robber mode. And the one thing about this police car, it's based on the Thunder car of the in-game Thunder car, and it's obviously a reference to the Chevrolet Lumina Thunder car which you see in earlier in the video. And so it's just this, and I thought it would be great to put it in here. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.